This semiconductor is smaller than a postage stamp, but it has more than 8 billion transistors. 8 billion transistors, 10,000 times thinner than a single human hair in this one chip. These chips are a wonder of innovation and design that power so much of our country, enables so much of our modern lives to go on. Not just our cars, but our smartphones, televisions, radios, medical diagnostic equipment, and so much more. We need to make sure these supply chains are secure and reliable.
That was President Biden yesterday addressing the chip shortage and signing an executive order to examine the supply chain. Joining us now is someone who knows the industry well, Andy Purdy. He's Huawei Technologies USA Chief Security Officer. It's great to see you again, Andy. And given the chip shortage around the globe, I'm sure Huawei would like to have more access and get into the game in the United States. What kind of conversations are happening, if they're at all, with this administration?
Well, it's really too early to even try to initiate conversations with the administration. I must say that I'm very heartened and encouraged that the Biden administration is taking the steps they are regarding semiconductors, the efforts to try to improve supply chain security, and frankly, the efforts in the light of SolarWinds cyber attacks to try to make America safer. All these things are going to have to happen. We hope that in good time, the administration will be willing to talk with us and talk on the specific issues that relate directly to us, not talk through the China government.
Well, let me ask you, given, you talked about SolarWinds and the hacking attacks that are taking place around the world, security is clearly front and center as a critical component of any kind of supply chain strategy, frankly, when it comes to these types of chips or, frankly, so much of the technology that we're seeing. How, I mean, I know that you would make the case for Huawei, but how do you think, and you're an American as well, you're an American citizen, so how do you think the American government and the Biden administration should think about this?
Well, I think the remarks that Ann Neuberger with the National Security Council said recently regarding the effort to work across government and with the private sector to really raise the bar generally and improve America's defenses, our government defenses, our critical infrastructure defenses, and work multilaterally with our allies, because we have to strengthen the supply chain, the cybersecurity supply chain, and we have to make sure there's more transparency. And we're open to discussions about what can we show and do so the government has a good idea. There's a lot of good things happening in Europe on this also.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you built a 5G chip, or, we can name the technology, do you believe that it is impossible not to slip a backdoor into something and not to be able to audit it? Meaning, I think there's a lot of folks who say, if this is coming from a particular country, who knows what's inside, what's actually inside the chip, right?
As one of the companies associated with the U.S. intelligence community, Domain 5 has indicated, there is testing that can be done. The former principal deputy to the director of national intelligence, Ann Neuberger, said that we can test for backdoors. The most significant, most important components that America has, for example, for Air Force One, they're made in a special trusted foundry in the United States. But we cannot afford as a nation to have that done. But it's a combination of the testing of the equipment, the components, and the monitoring and the transparency by government and companies, as well as monitoring of the telecommunication networks and the carriers. That combination, it's a shared responsibility.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.